Logan Sorrell here, and once again another video from my channel. Now today we're going to be talking about Amazing Spider-Man 2 First Impressions, and from what I've seen on my channel, my Captain America First Impressions video was very popular, probably the most popular one I did so far. So yeah, we're going to be talking about Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now that Captain America is out the way, we can now talk about Amazing Spider-Man 2, and also I will also still be I will bring out a first impressions video for the new X-Men and for the new Guardians of the Galaxy movies as well. But obviously, I'll do those when it's closer to when we're closer to the date, to the release date. So yeah. But anyway, let's talk about this movie now. I really like the first Amazing Spider-Man. In fact, I actually even have it here. I got the DVD for it and everything. And I really liked this movie. This movie was good. I didn't really know what to expect because I did like the original Sam Raimi movies. They were very good, but but at some points I found them very long, and also I found some of the stories they talked about was not was carried on a bit too much. But no, I think this new Spider-Man trilogy really did try and go closer to the comic books because I felt that with this one, they stuck more to the comic books and stuck more to what Peter Parker is like in the comic books. Because in this one, he's a teenager, he's at high school and everything. Yes, I know that he did start in high school in the first Spider-Man movie, in the first Spider one with Tobey Maguire. But the thing is, like like by the time that he was graduated by halfway through before the movie was even finished, you know. And this one, he's a high school student throughout the whole movie. And in this next one, he's going to be a high school student throughout the whole movie. And then he'll probably only graduate in the third one. He'll probably only graduate in the third Spider-Man movie. But yeah, and I thought the first Spider-Man movie was great. I think Andrew Garfield does a really good job with Peter Parker, and he captures the essence of Peter Parker and what Peter Parker is like. So yeah, I like it. And also, one thing I liked about it was that it was a lot more funnier. So anyway, so now onto this movie. Now, Amazing Spider-Man 2, I think is pretty interesting. I think it's very good they're doing a sequel because I thought the first one was excellent. The casting is great and everything. But yeah, let's talk about the costume first. Now, the costume I think is good, but I wanted them to keep the older costume because the thing is, in the first movie, he had this costume and it had like these gold eyes, and like his gloves was like part blue, part red, and whereas before his gloves were completely red, and I don't know, it was a different take on Spider-Man's suit. It was like his costume like he has in the comics, but it was just like tweaked around and modified and moved around a bit. So and yeah, I thought that was a pretty interesting take on Spider-Man. I thought it was a pretty interesting look, and with this new costume, even though I do like it, and I do think it's a very cool costume, but I just wanted them to go with the first costume, because that first costume was so unique and so different and so, out of the box, that I was hoping they were going to use that. They were going to keep it to the Sam Raimi trilogy and just use the same costume throughout all three movies. Because I'm all happy when it comes to superhero costumes, but I don't know, this new style that Hollywood's got these days is that every movie there has to be a new costume. The costume has to change. It has to be a new costume. I don't get that. I really, really don't get that. I mean, because I can understand if it was a Batman or maybe or an Iron Man movie, because Iron Man, he's got to constantly keep upgrading and updating his armor. So Iron Man, it makes sense. And Batman, there's always like reasons why. Okay, there wasn't always reasons. I mean, there were a lot of times when they just changed the suit for the sake of changing it. But like, for example, in the Dark Knight, when Batman when Dark Knight starts, Batman starts with his Batman Begins suit, and then he switches over to his new Dark Knight suit. But he gives a reason. He says that no, I can't run around because the current suit I've got, it carries too much armor, and this new one is lighter, and I can be quicker on my feet. So that's understandable. But now with this Spider-Man, Now with the new Captain America movie, like in the first one, they gave reasons why he switches between each suit, and in this one, in the new Captain America movie, I mean, they give a reason, the reason for why he changes to the suit that he wears at the end in the final battle, but like the suit that he has in the beginning, no explanation as to why he has that suit. Why did he? No explanation as to why he didn't stay with the one that he had in the Avengers. Nothing. No explanation. You know, you just expect it. We're all just. They just expect all of us to accept it and to just, take it how it is. I, however, don't really accept that. I mean, like, there should be a reason why he changed the costume. Because in this movie now, I bet you guys, okay, I will obviously, I'm not going to leave final judgment. I'll obviously have to go see the movie first. But that's one thing that just irritates me, is that the thing is now, probably what will happen is, what I think will happen, is that he's going to have this new costume, this new improved Spider-Man costume, look more like the comic books and everything. But there probably will not be any explanation at all as to why he's got a new costume, as to why he's not wearing this costume. He's wearing a completely different costume. No, there will not be a reason at all. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they will give a reason, but like maybe his suit got like too damaged from the part with the lizard battle, and maybe he needed to design a new suit, and he thought he will go a bit more kiddie friendly or something. But I don't know. But there'll probably be no explanation as to why he changes his suit, and I don't know. I just found that irritating. I mean, at the moment, I think the only superhero movie so far that the only guy so far that hasn't changed his suit at all is Thor. I mean, but obviously it's obvious why Thor wouldn't change his suit. But Thor's like the only character right now who hasn't changed his suit. He's still wearing the same suit as he did in Avengers and Thor 1 and Thor 2. He's still wearing the same suit that he's always had. So, yeah, and then Iron Man, he constantly upgraded his armor, but his armor still looked the same the whole it still looked the same essentially. It still looked the same. It was just upgraded versions, but the armor all looked the same. And then Iron Man 3, we did see, like different kinds of armor, but Iron Man 3 was, that's a conversation for another day. But anyway, back onto the villains. Now, onto the villains. I think the villain choosing is pretty good. I mean, the Rhino is a pretty interesting character. I've always wanted Rhino to be a villain in a Spider-Man movie, because he was never in the Sam Raimi movies, and I never got that, because the thing is, Rhino, he's not like in terms of his personality and his character, he's not an interesting villain like the Joker or like Loki or anything, but he was always he's a cool villain. He's got like this armor, he's got like this giant, he's like this big rhino guy, like charges and with his horn and everything. I don't know, it was just a cool villain, just an interesting look, he's just an interesting villain, he's not a great villain, but he's an interesting villain. And so I think it's pretty good. And what I quite like about in Spider-Man 2 is that they've gone they've gone with more of an ultimate Spider-Man look for Rhino, like where he's it's like not like a armor, it's not like a liquid that went onto him that formed this Rhino armor which protects him. It's actually like this robot iron Rhino suit that he wears, which I find quite interesting. But yeah, I think the Rhino is going to be pretty. I think the Rhino will be pretty cool. And what I quite like about it is that they've actually taken the guy who becomes a Rhino in the Marvel comics. They've actually taken him and put him in the suit of the Ultimate Rhino, because the Ultimate Rhino is just like this geek. He's just like this nerd who got pushed around at school and wanted to get back at all these bullies, and then just built a giant iron suit, Rhino suit, and just went into it. But yeah, they've like done a combination, which I think is really, really cool. I think they've integrated that pretty well. And then we got Electro. And Electro I think will be pretty good. I think from what I've seen in the trailers, Jamie Foxx looks like he'll do a pretty good job. And I think his suit over and his costume overall looks cool. It does look kind of weird though that he's always in electric mode. He like can't switch it off. In the Marvel comics, Electro, I mean, sure, he wears like a costume and everything, but he doesn't have like electric surging through his entire through the outside of his body the whole time like it is. But Jamie Foxx did say when he was first casted that they were going to go for more of an ultimate look. So these villains are very ultimate based, very much based on the Ultimate comics, which I find which I found pretty interesting. Very very ultimate based and everything. But yeah, but yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Yeah, so I think Elektra and Rhino will be pretty good. And yeah, the last villain I just want to talk about is Green Goblin. Like now, really, Green Goblin, really. Why do they have to do Green Goblin? Why? Just why? Why do they have to do Green Goblin? I don't know. Green Goblin, I'm kind of sick and tired of Green Goblin. I mean, he was dragged out through the whole of the Sam Raimi trilogy. Okay, first one he was the villain. Second one, okay, he may have not been, you know, he may have not been the villain of the story, but they still like somehow found a way to integrate that into the story. And then the third one he comes back and I don't know. They should just leave Green Goblin alone. I mean, I understand that he's Spider-Man's main villain, but like really, just leave Green Goblin alone. I mean, if they really wanted to do a Goblin, do the Hobgoblin. I would really love to see the Hobgoblin in a movie, and not the Green Goblin, because the Green Goblin is just irritating. Yeah, and the costume doesn't give it any justice at all. The new costume looks shit. I mean, he's got like this really crappy looking, like gay looking armor that he wears, which is really shit. And then instead of wearing a mask, like a helmet, like he's supposed to, like Green Goblin is supposed to, no. He's got a normal face, doesn't wear a helmet, and he's got like this sparked up like hairdo, and he looks like he's been like drugged up on like marijuana and all this stuff. And I don't know. I don't like the Green Goblin, but that's just because I generally just don't like the Green Goblin in movies. But yeah, I think they should have just left Green Goblin alone. I mean, the thing is, when this Amazing Spider-Man trilogy started, I thought they would leave Green. I knew that they were going to use Green Goblin. I knew they were going to use Green Goblin. That was a certainty. But I thought they were going to leave it for Amazing Spider-Man 3. I thought they were going to leave it for the final act of the series. But no, they just said no, we'll do it in the second one. But I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't like Green Goblin. But one thing I do like is one thing a lot of fans have been complaining recently in on the internet and stuff is that, you know, this is shaping up to be too much like Spider-Man 3. Because one thing that people didn't like about Spider-Man 3 was that there was 3 villains at once, and it was too complicated, and they made the story way too complicated, and should have just been like 1 or 2 villains, and there should have just been 3, and 3 was overload. But I think what Josh Whedon is doing, I mean, sorry, not Josh Whedon, sorry. Mark Webb. Sorry, I get those two confused. But I think what Mark Webb is doing right now is pretty good. Because I remember I read an article recently about when he says that no, when he responds to that, and he says that no, we've done it very carefully. We've done it very very carefully. Rhino only appears like at the beginning. He only appears at the beginning. He's only in there for like 4 minutes, but it's fine because he's going to be in Amazing Spider-Man 3. He's only going to be in there for like 4 minutes, and then the next video, and then Electro will be the bad guy for most of the duration of the movie, and then Green Goblin will like come at the end for the final battle with Spider-Man. And I think that's pretty good. I mean, doing each villain separately, I think is a very smart move. It's a very very smart move. Although I would have really liked to see Spider-Man fight against all 3 of them at once. I mean, that would have been so cool. Like Spider-Man, like dodges a charge from the Rhino. He like springs a web and like swings up and dodges a charge from the Rhino. And then Electro throws an Electro bolt at him, and like he jumps and dodges that, and then suddenly this pumpkin or those pumpkin things Green Goblin has, those things like come straight at his face, and he gets like hit in the face, like oh, you know. That would have been cool if he fought all 3 of them at once, but no. But I guess what Mark Webb is doing is it is a smart move though, because if it did do like that, even though as awesome I would have felt it would be, most people wouldn't like it. They would say it's too complicated and everything. So I think Mark Webb's doing a great job with it so far, and yeah, I think it will be a good movie. And I really really can't wait to go see this movie. So yeah, and of course as usual I'll do a review for it when I eventually go watch it when it comes out. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching my video, guys. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And yeah, cheers, guys.